Hello and welcome to Quantum Conversations. My name is Hannah Craig, and I am an independent quantum living advocate for the AO Scan technology by Solex. The AO Scan is a frequency-focused solution that is creating an entirely new paradigm in the wellness space. You will hear from practitioners who use it every day and see for yourself how you can implement this technology in your own practice or health journey. So thanks for joining us. Be sure to like, share, and follow this channel for more AO Scan content like this. Let's dive in. Today, we are chatting with Sara Viau, and I'm so excited for you to meet her because she is a seasoned bioresonance practitioner. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her background. So Sara is a Natural Therapies board-certified biofeedback specialist, AADP board-certified holistic health practitioner, certified master practitioner of neuro-linguistics programming, and certified EMF practitioner. She is qualified to help clients understand and expand their perceptual, behavioral, and communication techniques to make it easier for them to change their thoughts and actions. She more recently expanded her passion for helping others by providing her clients with the knowledge and EMF harmonizing products they need to protect both themselves and their families from the harmful effects of EMF. Sara has also had the privilege to serve as an educator for over 14 years. She has spent a majority of that time supporting those who are affected by autism and similar learning differences. So welcome, Sara, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
So first off, I would love to hear just a little bit about you and how you got into the world of bioenergetics.
Yeah, sure. So I was born and raised into a family that sought alternative and holistic modalities for wellness, but I didn't really see the importance of it until I was older. So in my early teens, I unfortunately made some decisions that I didn't realize would have such a major impact on my health and wellness. I lived in a mold-filled apartment for a few years. I took birth control before knowing the consequences of it. And I was working in an extremely high stress job where my physical safety was constantly threatened. So in my early 20s, I actually started experiencing serious health issues, including life-threatening tachycardia and full spectrum symptoms associated with dysautonomia. So I saw doctor after doctor, and after ending up in the ER like way too many times to count, basically the doctors just concluded, that I had anxiety, and they prescribed me Xanax. So really these symptoms interfered with my daily living. And I wasn't ready to just settle for the information that was given to me, by these doctors. So I decided to do my own research, and, get back to my holistic roots. And I started studying stress management. So I essentially ended up biohacking my way through the symptoms, which occurred less and less over time. I was just so grateful to have found all of the stress management techniques and modalities like bioenergetics. So because it has helped me so much, and I decided to dedicate the rest of my life to becoming a holistic health practitioner, and then both teaching and helping others how to heal their bodies with the use of not just bioenergetics, but many other alternative modalities and techniques.
Thank you. Yeah, I love how, even though you came from the holistic background growing up, we're all on our own journey, and you returned back to putting the power back in your hands, right? You knew that you had to take control of your own health. And that is so much what we do here with the AO Scan. So can you explain how you run your professional practice, the services you offer, and your approach to helping people discover, the root cause of their illness?
Yeah, sure. So I offer bioenergetics using the AO system by Solex. I use Dr. Tennant's biomodulator and biotransducer, which uses PEMF-based frequency and scalar energy. I use Tri-Vortex Institute's transdermal ozone and nano oxygen acceleration to support the immune system. I use the Emotion and Body Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson to release mental, emotional, and physical stress. NEURO-LINGUISTICS programming to support a balanced mindset and reach specific goals. And then I also spend a large amount of time educating people on the dangers of EMFs, as well as providing them with solutions to fix this major issue. So one of the most important things I do before accepting a new client is doing a consultation with them. It is a requirement of mine that the client is willing to take responsibility for their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own actions, and healing. And, that they're ready and they're choosing to do so. So some clients see me virtually and some see me in person. And after accepting a new client, I discuss with them, what it is that is stressing them out the most. And then I create a custom plan to address such stressors. Many times it's a combination of the modalities that I mentioned earlier, and it's completely different for each client. So most of the time when I see a new client, I start by using the AO system by Solex, so I can get a solid baseline of information that is occurring. So because of my specialized training in biofeedback, I'm able to identify stress trends when I look over the reports, and I'm able to kind of hone in on subconscious belief systems because of my NLP background. I gathered tons of information. And then, once I have a good idea of where the subconscious wants and needs to go, then I coach, teach, and guide my clients so that they can heal their body. I essentially act as a facilitator to support the mind, body, and energy.
That's wonderful. And I find it fascinating how you've been able to collect so many different modalities and trainings and weave them together to really support your clients full circle. That's amazing. So when you reached out to me, I knew that you were certified in bioresonance, other bioresonance tools, and I would love to hear what initially intrigued you about the AO scan.
Yeah, so I did, and I'm still using it from time to time, my other bioresonance technology. But yeah, when we first connected, I had won a giveaway that you were offering for an inner voice scan. I had no idea what inner voice scan was or what it was like. But after, the first one that I did with you, I was hooked. In fact, after listening to just the first audio, of course, there's 4 that you get in total. I was sold. So as I was listening to it, I could actually feel my bladder and kidney meridian activate, which felt like a subtle flow of energy going back and forth through the lower quadrant of my body. I felt super relaxed. I even noticed some emotional shifts that occurred while I was listening to the tones. So by the 4th clip, I was actually asleep. So what I did know about this program was that it was powerful, it was effective, it put me into parasympathetic, it supported my body circuitry, and really I wanted it not just for my personal use, but I also wanted to share it with my clients. So I didn't even care if there was anything else that the AO system offered, or the fact that, maybe I'm purchasing a second bioresonance tool. Is it, do I actually need it? I just knew I wanted the inner voice technology. So
I remember that conversation very well after you experienced it and you messaged me and you were like, this is what happened. I don't care. Get this to me as soon as possible. And I was like, okay, this is wonderful. So yeah, I'm so grateful that you had that positive experience. And of course, because of your background and experience, you saw the value right away. And I don't know, that was just such a special experience for me to have with you. So you kind of mentioned a little bit about how you're using this in your practice, but you said you start with using the AO scan technology with all your clients. Beyond that, how has it evolved over time with using the AO scan with?
Yeah, so most of the time when I see a new client, I start by using the AO system so I can get a solid baseline of information, including stress trends, that are occurring. It's packed with information, and I found that it's congruent with blood work, with what the client is emotionally experiencing in their day-to-day life. And I love how it offers basic lifestyle suggestions. As a practitioner, it really makes things so clear and easy, and it helps, both myself and the client identify root causes. So as I integrate AO scan into my practice, more and more clients are requesting scans by the AO system. So for clients who request that, I typically run the easy scan, which includes the inner voice technology, the vital scan, and comprehensive scan. Then I'll do the body system scan and optimization, the dental and TMJ profile. And if any further frequencies are needed to support the client, then I run the homeoenergetics scan and identify which energy homeoenergetics frequencies are needed to support the client. I then interpret all of the educational information that are found in the various reports. And then I type up some customized notes that I can send to the client so they know what was balanced during the session and then the areas that they can work on in between sessions. And then, of course, I send them their customized inner voice technology report and tones that they can listen to daily until I see them for their follow-up session.
That's wonderful. It sounds like you really have found a way to simplify the AO scan reporting system so that your clients can gain the information that they need to have that knowledge and power, while also, of course, you're supporting them therapeutically because it's not just scanning, it's optimizing the body during all these scans as well. And so they're receiving that therapeutic benefit during their scan and session. Plus, you're giving them something to take home and listen to. I mean, so powerful. I love hearing how you're using that in your practice. Thank you. Okay, so then my next question is, and we get this often, how do you explain the technology to your clients?
Basically, most of my clients come to me with a basic knowledge of bioenergetics. A lot of them are referred over to me, and they've heard a lot about it from their friends and family. So I don't need to do much to explain this technology. If and when I do, I first have them watch the YouTube video provided by Solex entitled Introduction to AO Scan, found on solexglobal.com. And if and when clients choose to look into this video as suggested, I'm able to see their willingness and their eagerness to learn, which also helps me determine if I'm going to take them on as a new client or not. If they watch it and follow up, they typically don't ask many more questions because Solex does such an amazing job at explaining the technology, and with all the visuals, it's awesome. So in general, I share that this technology, uses both frequency and audio tones to scan and optimize mind and body systems. And then the sophisticated software picks up on stress trends occurring within the mind and body and gives you either a suggestion to improve it or a frequency to bring the area back to balance.
That's beautiful. I love that. Yeah, I think sometimes we can get caught up in complicating it, but it really is simple. We are all energy at a cellular level. And so I love how you use the word identifying stress markers in the body. So what has been the biggest shift either you have seen personally, but also in your business since you have incorporated the AO scan?
Yeah, so I absolutely love that I can now send home with my clients a resource that can continue to support them day in and day out. It's a resource that they feel very empowered by, and a resource that gives them the opportunity to take responsibility for their own healing. In the inner voice scan report, because it provides lifestyle suggestions, clients have goals to focus on between sessions, and it gives them hope for an improved quality of life. This report kind of acts like a roadmap or a guide. So as a practitioner, I love the practicality and simplicity of it all.
Thank you. Yes, I always say how valuable it is to be able to support our clients, even when they're away from us, whether it's listening to their inner voice music or sending them frequencies from the CEPI program. But yeah, giving them some power back and some control back, and that hope is so special. So do you have any testimonies about, patients or yourself using the AO scan?
Yeah, so for me, I have a susceptibility to histamine responses. after eating foods that my body identifies as inflammatory, like even if they're healthy foods. Or I even have histamine reaction responses to environmental stressors like perfumes or mold. So I can't tell you how many times I started to feel like I couldn't breathe, which then would cause the emotional response of anxiety. I'd start kind of like coughing and feel like my lymph nodes on the side of my neck on the side of my one neck was swelling up. And so every time that occurred, I got my AO scanner, which I have on me 24/7. No joke. I have my mobile device on my person. And then I have my tablet at home. So I run basically the allergies, allergic reactions, or the allergies, mold allergies under the Cepheid Quantum homeopathics. And my body systems regulate and balance out within minutes every single time. Like, it's been amazing. That's just one testimonial from myself. I have many. So as far as my clients, though, the one that stands out the most. So there's this client who used inner voice technology for the first time. This client suffers from depression, anxiety, repetitive thoughts. And the client sent me a text a few hours after I sent them their AO audio tones. They had been listening to them for several hours straight. And then they told me that, they felt like a weight had been lifted off of them. And for the first time in a really long time, they felt hopeful. And the repetitive thoughts had stopped. And, they felt like they could finally focus on everyday tasks without the intrusion of thought disturbances. So I thought that's huge. Absolutely huge.
Right, because those are all things that can affect us from just doing the simple daily things, getting up and going to work, doing our job well, taking care of our family. And it's extraordinary that within one session, somebody can have that shift occur for them. But as we know, it really boils down, a lot of it does to our emotions. And that's why the Inner Voice program is so powerful. And I also will just share briefly on your behalf, I hope it's okay. I remember you took a trip to Colorado for skiing. And on that trip, you messaged me 2 or 3 times of the different ways the AO scan had saved you, one from altitude sickness. And so I know we all agree, like, we keep this on us or near us all the time because there really is something for everything and everyone. And it's just such a powerful tool. So thank you for sharing that. I think I know the answer to this, but if you could only use one of the programs on the AO scan in your practice, which would you choose and why?
Yeah, obviously the inner voice, 100%, hands down. Emotional stress is almost always the reason for a crack in our wellness foundation. So when we address the crack in the foundation, stability and healing can occur in the physical body. So inner voice for sure.
Yes. Yeah. I think many of us feel that way. So last question, can you just explain how the AO has helped you expand your practice to offer remote sessions and how that's worked out for you?
Yeah, so the AO system, it's so easy to use and to explain to clients. And so clients are really happy to know that I offer sessions at distance. So I've been able to expand my practice in that way. Most clients do see me in person, but there have been many occurrences where clients reach out, needing last minute emotional, mental, or physical support for unforeseen circumstances. So during these times, the AO system has provided support to them through bioresonance feedback, and then also through the inner voice technology tones. I'll often get clients who are referred to me by their friends or their loved ones who live outside of the city, state, or even country. So again, I'm able to assist them via distance, using the AO technology. There's also been a few times when I've gotten sick and have had to cancel in-person sessions because I don't want to share my germs with anyone, but at the same time felt well enough to still work from home. So it's been nice to be able to offer clients the option of doing their session at distance instead. And many of them have taken that offer up and then have continued to do their sessions at distance even after. So that's been great. The other thing as a practitioner that I really appreciate is the fact that the AO system has helped me avoid last minute cancellations because I'm able to offer sessions or just even the inner voice technology, just that scan alone at distance. If something occurs and clients can't make their appointment in time or in person for whatever reason. So that's been really helpful. Like, I'll just say, like, I know circumstances aren't allowing you to be here. If you want to send me a 15-second video clip, I could still run your inner voice scan for you, and then send that to you, and you can listen to that until we reschedule. But then that way, because I do have a cancellation policy, I am charging them if they're not canceling within a certain period. They're still getting quality, and they're still getting feedback. So that's been amazing.
Yeah, I actually hadn't thought of that point, but there's so much truth to that because things happen, flat tire, get stuck at work, not feeling well on either side, the patient or the practitioner. And that's amazing to be able to, that we can still support others, whether they're with us or not in person. Would you mind sharing a little bit just how the AO scan has affected your business revenues, or how many people you're able to serve now versus before you had this technology?
Yeah, sure. So I found in this field that one must continue to learn, grow, and transform their practice in order to succeed. And Solex has allowed me to do this because of the amazing continued education that they provide, the constant new upgrades to the software, the accessories that complement the AO system technology. They also have the wonderful QLA program, which I've utilized. So while I share this amazing modality with others because I truly love it, at the same time, I'm also able, not only to help people by giving them sessions from my device, but a lot of times people end up wanting to purchase it for themselves, which I get credit for. So there's really nothing better than sharing a modality that truly helps people heal themselves. And then at the same time, have a company like Solex that is so generous that I'm able to receive credit for sharing it. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Thank you. And what advice do you have for other functional, integrative, or naturopathic practitioners or energy healers who are curious about adding the AO scan technology to their practice?
Yeah, get it for sure. It's only going to enhance your practice and add a layer of simplicity and convenience. It can be a source of residual income for you. And, even if you don't ever use it in your practice, you can use it on yourself to maintain emotional, mental, and physical alignment as you assist others with their healing journey. So, for example, during difficult talk sessions or body code sessions with clients, I like running a customized CEPI playlist for myself, which includes keeping my energy clear, shielded. I like adding love, gratitude, compassion, abundance, and support for my entire emotional spectrum. I find it can be, so much more, that I can be so much more productive and present with sustained energy when I run these playlists on myself while I'm supporting my clients.
That's great advice, especially the piece about maybe you don't want to integrate it into your practice, but use it for yourself, because as practitioners, we have to think about what tool do we have that can help us bring balance to our body, mind, and spirit in just minutes, right? We are crunched for time, seeing clients, balancing, family life. And so the AO scan is that tool that can help you stay in balance so that you can better serve your community in your practice. So thank you for bringing that to attention. So since you have been practicing in the world of bioenergetics for some time, what impact do you think frequency technology like the AO scan will have on future medicine?
Yeah, so it's my hope that everyone has access to this amazing technology, and that each person is willing to try the system at least once. As Albert Einstein once said, future medicine will be the medicine of frequency. And even Nobel Prize biochemist Albert Centuri in every culture and in every medical tradition before ours, healing was accomplished by moving energy.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you so much for your time today and for joining us. Where can people find you online, or if they'd like to follow you for all your wisdom?
So the easiest way is my website, which is mindbodybalancefl.com. Or you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is mindbodybalance_FL.
Thank you, Sara Viau, again for joining us today. It was an honor to have you. We learned so much and appreciate your time. Take care.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.